How's it going and welcome to The Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this. This is the LA Lady from Source Audio. This is a digital overdrive pedal that can also function as a distortion and a fuzz pedal. But before we do, I'll ask you to please hit like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you can be kept up to date every time I put out a new video. Okay, so I think the first thing we should do is take a listen to it in a track. So here is an example of one of the songs where I'll be using this pedal to control the overdrive and distortion characteristics of a particular guitar part that I'm tracking. So have a listen to this. This is a pedal in action. So, the LA Lady. The reason I'm making this video is I'm currently putting together a home recording rig because my band, Kampala, and we're an alternative rock band, I guess, is making a new record between now and the end of the year. And I'll put a link to Kampala up here so you can kind of get an idea of what we sound like. We're going to record everything out of our studio and then I'm going to overdub guitar parts. I may even use this rig out of the studio. And for that I need a preamp. I need a modulation / delay / reverb pedal, which I'm going to use the Line 6 M5 for that. And I need an overdrive pedal. And this can fulfill the needs of all my overdrives and all my fuzzes. Because for the amp side of things, I'm using the 2 Notes Revolt, which is a 3-channel preamp, and it does a brilliant job at covering off all my main clean and dirty platform sounds. And then I'm going to use this to add fuzz and overdrive to shape those sounds. Now, I saw this on a free ads website here in Dublin a while back, and I was aware of it. I must say, before I go any further, it is an absolutely beautiful piece of kit. It's probably, actually, I have to say, it's the most beautiful designed pedal I've ever come across. The enclosure, the detail of the in and out section at the back, the way it's recessed in this panel. The jacks are just really, really beautiful, and then this bent gold kind of part that is the fascia of it. The switch feels amazing. It's not a cheap pedal, it's expensive. I think I got this for €170 secondhand, which for me is a lot to pay for a pedal secondhand. But what's amazing about this is the ecosystem that comes with it, basically, right? So how this works is on the face of it, there is 3 settings: classic, crunch, and smooth, and they're controlled with this switch. Then there's 4 knobs. There's drive, level, bass, and treble, which means with every pedal that you get, you can tweak it as you see fit. So basically you select one of these 3 presets, then you control these knobs, get your sound, and that's the sound of the pedal if you're going to use it purely as a standalone pedal. Now you'll notice on both sides there are 2 input and output jacks. What's really amazing about this is if you've a multi-effect switcher like an ES8 or some sort of pedal controlling system, basically, right? You can have one pedal in the bottom 2 inputs, or the bottom input and output, and another pedal in the top input and output, which means that you can effectively have this be 2 pedals at the same time. which is pretty amazing. Also, there's a thing here in the back called control input, which you need to add 1 or 2 pieces of external source audio hardware to allow you to create, store and recall presets on this pedal in a live situation. Now, I'll talk about that in a bit, right? Then also on the back there is a USB connector, and that's for connecting it to your desktop to use the editor to be able to install, save and recall and basically use presets, right? So this is a fully featured digital overdrive pedal, and it can also do fuzz and distortion as well. And that's basically the premise of it. And in that way, being able to reach down as I play any particular part, and I demonstrate this in the audio section, as I play any particular part of any recording I'm doing, being able to reach down and choose which overdrive pedal I want and choose how I want to set it for that one track I'm about to record is just perfect. So when I'm not trying to change sounds on this on the fly, it's a brilliant piece of kit. However, if I was to try and use this the way I use MIDI overdrive pedals in my setup currently, which I do, right? On this channel so far, I've made a video of the TCI Tronic Overdrive, which is a MIDI controlled analog overdrive pedal, the Strymon Sunset, which is a MIDI controlled digital overdrive pedal, and the Boss OG200, which is a digital controlled overdrive and distortion pedal. This is the 4th one of those I've done. And the idea with those MIDI pedals is that you can set up a number of different sounds and they can replace a number of different pedals on your board, and then you can use a MIDI controller to recall which one of those sounds it is you're trying to use, right? That's the same principle here. But like the Strymon Sunset, I really feel that it's a secondary use in terms of practicality, right? So on the Strymon Sunset, I found that the sounds on it were absolutely amazing, but the ability to use, say, 5 or 6 different presets, so 5 or 6 different overdrive or distortion sounds from the same pedal, was kind of moot, because there was no way of knowing what preset you had selected once you had selected it. So say I have a clon, a tube screamer, a rat, a muff, and a fuzz face, 5 different sounds that are in this pedal. I've no way of knowing. The pedal can't indicate to me which sound it's on, and that's a huge problem in terms of knowing the ability to use this live. That's one thing. Then secondly, with the 2 inputs and outputs, right, and there being effectively 2 different pedals in this, there's no way that I can see with the controls to say set one and save that and then go to the other side. So say I have an overdrive and a fuzz. I have an overdrive in the bottom 2 and I have a fuzz in the top 2. And when I say 2, by the way, I mean the inputs and outputs. This input and this output are one pedal, and this input and this output on top are the other pedal. I've no way of controlling it, setting it, saving it, and recalling it that I can see. I could be wrong about that. So realistically, and then the other thing is, even though there are theoretically 6 sounds stored within this pedal, you can't use MIDI to even recall those 6 sounds. Now that to me is just kind of like unacceptable, that in order to use MIDI to recall those 6 sounds, you have to buy another piece of source audio gear, which is about €100, right? You have to buy their like MIDI hub thing. Now that piece of gear does allow you to control any number of source audio pedals, but I don't want any of them. I just want this one. And although I would like the Nemesis as well, it looks amazing, I think it's too much. I think if it allowed you to expand to use 100 presets or something like that, great. If I wanted, I could. But I'd like to be able to recall the 6 presets in this just with a standard MIDI cable out of a standard MIDI controller, but it won't do that. And that's really disappointing. That's the negatives. However, the sound of this thing is unreal. And I think I've covered off enough of the functionality of it now, so let's have a listen to it. Here are the sounds. Okay, so to demo the LA Lady, I am playing this Fender Classic Series, which is before the current Player Series, Mexican telly, 60s telly with a rosewood board and 60s voice pickups. I'm playing out of the guitar into the LA Lady, out of the LA Lady into the 2 notes Revolt 3-channel guitar amp simulator. And then I have the M5 by Line 6 in the loop of the Revolt for reverb. And then out of the whole setup into the Focusrite Scarlett 6i6 interface. This is the clean channel on the Revolt, that's a bridge pickup. So, let's say, as I mentioned, this whole video is about using this in a recording context. So let's say that I kind of was playing this part. And I want to kind of make it like edge of breakup kind of sound. This is a tube screamer that I have loaded into the first preset section, which I've done in the app of the LA Lady here. And it's kind of, I have this tube screamer without so much push mids, because I have 2 tube screamers and a clone in my 3 settings. I'm going to go through them now. This is what the tube screamer kind of sounds like. A little bit more level maybe. Okay, so it's a really lovely sort of Americana kind of Telecaster Fender sound. And that is one sound that I might need. It's our band sounds anything like that, but that's one kind of sound that I might need. And here's in the middle bit. Again, without the pedal. And with the pedal. So in this middle setting, and this is what's great about this pedal, that's not really bright enough for me, so I'm going to boost the treble. So what's cool about that is, in recording is a situation where you will literally bend down, you will tweak a knob for the particular track that you're tracking. And in this way, this is great. So if I was doing that middle thing, I wouldn't actually use that sound. I'd switch to the middle setting, which is the clone, which is more sort of boosty. Much more treble. I mean, that's a lovely sound. Clone is for some reason way louder. When I switch to the back pickup, if I want, I can just roll some of the treble out. That's the clone sound, and the third position I have this kind of more midsy, tube screamery kind of thing. It's kind of for lead parts. Three really great, like, overdrive kind of sounds available from one pedal, and they're tweakable underhand, right? So that's on the clean channel. If I move over then, I'm going to turn it off. The Revolt also has a crunch channel, which is a Marshall kind of thing, and then a lead channel, which is Soldano kind of thing. Going back to the crunch channel. Okay, so kind of verse or middle parts of that song. So if I wanted to take that sound on the first tube screamer kind of thing. wanted a clang kind of thing. Slightly brighter. Neck pickup. Fabulous sound. And then onto the tube screaming kind of thing for an even more sort of fluid lead thing. So you can see with both channels, the LA Lady really augments both of them in ways that for recording purposes really, really sound great. And the app brings, in my opinion, almost too much flexibility, but it's there if you want it. It's too much for me. I find it kind of overwhelming in terms of the tweakability of those sounds, but straight away, that's like 3 straight up overdrive sounds that all sound really, really good on Clean and Dirty. Now, as I mentioned before, what happens now is I simply mute my sound and switch from output 1 to output 2 and input 1 to input 2. Switch over to the clean channel and now it's a fuzz pedal. So we start off with a tone bender. Bit too much treble. This is a tone bender type fuzz, which kind of is my favorite actually. That's a tone bender. In the middle we have a fuzz face. Oh, which is much woollier. Oh, which I prefer for back pickups. So. It's a great, great sound. I'm on a clean channel, by the way. A bit too much level. Superb. That's the fuzz face, and the last sound we have is the muff. Peaking a little bit there. Again, muff over on the dirty side. So you can see really any fuzz or overdrive sound that I would want to aug the revolt with for recording any guitar parts, they're just there, they're on hand, they have the sufficient level of tweakability to make them uber useful in this situation. And I just think it has severe limitations as a live tool in the way it's formatted and without augmenting it with really quite expensive pieces of kit. But in this situation, any guitar track I'm going to record my band's record, and it's like 6 or 7 songs, and we get into tones, like we get into sounds, it's all there with this kit, you know. And I would theoretically have to have, you know, at least 4, if not 6 pedals down here to get this sound. And The quality of reproduction that the LA Lady does is probably the best digital reproduction I've heard. And also it pairs really well with this 2-note Revolt preamp. So I'm very, very happy with it in this context. Fair play to Source Audio. The sound is unbelievable. And the functionality in this situation is really good. I wish it was just set up a little better for a live situation to be able to utilize those presets in a more useful way for me, the way I like to do that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is quickly show you the Neuro software. The Neuro software is the software you use to control this, and I think that the editability of it and the community aspect of it and stuff are really, really impressive. So I'm not going to plug in the pedal now, I'm just going to show you the software and just show you how it works. But so here's the software, and I'll just show you how powerful it is. Okay, so this is the software as it appears when you open it up. You can see over here on the sidebar, my pedal LA Lady is selected. Somehow I managed to load it in twice. If I go to this one, it says disconnected here. If I go to this one, it says connected. I have connected my pedal to my laptop via mini USB, which is quite an old connection, but I happen to have the right cable lying around. So mini USB into your computer, then you open up, you download this Neuro software editor and you open it up, right? Now, what you can see here is when I connect, you can see exactly how my channel is set, or how my pedal is set right now. I'll go through that in a second. Then over here is my pedal presets, okay? These are quite hard to understand, really. I don't know, I think these store one sound, but it's hard to know whether they're storing 1 or 6 sounds. And I have my pedal set up perfectly now as it happens, and I don't really want to change this. So how this works is, you'll hear me clicking the switch on the pedal. I'm not going to shoot a video of it, but it'll be quite clear, right? So on the channel controls for the pedal itself, you have channel 1 left and channel 2 right. Then you have the distortion engine, which is like the model. And then you have kind of the drive output controls, which are on the front of the pedal. You have the bass control down here and the treble control over there. And they're the only pedals that are only controls that are on the front of the pedal. However, you also have this voice switch, kind of changes the character of the distortion, and you have a voice frequency. It's to do kind of the mid-range. You have a drive balance. I'm not really sure what that does, to be honest. Drive max is interesting. So if you want your, say, tube screamer to never really go above 50% even on the volume knob, you can set that drive max to be never go above 50% on the drive knob. Then you have a clean mix, which is really cool, so you can blend in clean signal as you like. And then you have quite a comprehensive like parametric EQ section here in the middle. Actually, it's not parametric, it's just an EQ. Then up here it says crunch tube, right? So all those controls apply to whatever model you're using. But if I hit this, I get a list of all the available distortion models for guitar and bass that are currently available. So just a top level: Tube Drive, Smooth Drive, Power Sage, Crunch Tube, TS9000. They're all those 5. No, actually I think it's just Tube Drive, Smooth Tube and TS9000. Some of them, I can't remember which ones, are available actually on the pedal itself, right? When you get it. But all of these models, right? So like, you know, there's a fuzz face, a tone bender, like a what's it called, a metal zone, an octafuzz, a gated fuzz, and you get into bass drives. There's gated fuzz 2, gated fuzz 3, there's different types of tube screamers, there's a maestro, what would that be, a tone bender or a FZ1A, whatever that is, a different muff, a fold over, an OCD, which is obviously an OCD, there's a fuzz face, there's a DS1, there's a rat bender, like there's so many different models for you to choose from, and they are really, really great. Those models sound fantastic. So once you choose your model, it is currently in wherever the switch is set on the pedal. Now let me show you what I mean, right? So if I take the pedal here and I click the switch, you'll see Crunch Tube change to something else. So right now in position 1 I have the TS9000, in position 2 I have the clone, and in position 3 I have the Very Screamer, right? And that's on the left side, and on the right side here, which is like input and output 2. So this is on input and output 1 physically on the pedal, and this is on input and output 2. So on the left side of the big muff, on the right side of the fuzz facade, and in the middle of the fuzz facade on the right side I have the bender, right? So all those models are available to me from the front of the pedal, and then I can use all of these controls and tweak them to my heart's content. These are kind of the main tone shaping controls. There's this parametric EQ section down here in the middle. I steer well clear of that. Then there's a noise gate that you can put on higher gain pedals here that, like, you know, you can set it however you want it. And then there's this external control section. That's to do with like the external devices you need to external control, but also there's this thing here, this external right foot external switch function. So you can use one of the inputs to switch between channel 1 and channel 2. See here, channel switch left and right, or you can use it to remote bypass the other channel, which is pretty cool. And then there's like this frequencies you can assign to the bass and treble knobs. I try to stay away from all that frequency stuff because it gets into the realm of infinite tweakability to me. So I generally tend to stick with the knobs that are on the front of the pedal, but I like these remote control options. Then these are where I store my actual pedal presets in the pedal, and I can recall them as however I want. Then over here is the kind of cloud presets. I have made one preset, which is when I was doing it at the start, which is drive in channel 1 and fuzz in channel 2. But over here is a published list. Oh no, they're presets that I would have published. Presets I would have liked, haven't done either of those things yet. Factory presets, which are here, and then community presets. So say I wanted a rat. I type in rat and it shows me all of the presets that are to do with the rat pedal. Really, really handy. I can go, and also you can see the type of pedal it's for here. Like this is for the Kingmaker, this is for the Ultrawave, Kingmaker. Kingmaker is the original pedal that had all the distortion and fuzzes in it. If I put in, say, Blues Breaker, in the Kingmaker again, Blues Breaker, and I can literally drag them and drop them onto my pedal, and I will be able to audition those presets. To be honest, it took me a while to get this pedal to where I wanted, and I'm not going to do that now because I'm quite happy with where I have it for the time being. So then, you know, there's a community and then there's my user profile and stuff. I'm not going to go into any of that, but the main thing is these menus are how you choose what you're going to put on either side. Then when you have it the way you want it, you click save, and you can either save it as, and it'll save it as a preset into your library, right? Or you can go save to pedal and it will save the whole thing as you have it set to the pedal. And that's kind of how the software works at a very, very, very top level. If anybody wants me to go into deeper detail about the software, let me know and I will. Okay, so there you go. That's the LA Lady from Source Audio. I'm really happy with this in the context that I'm going to use it, which is as a on-the-face tweakable combination of 6 pedals that I don't need to recall with MIDI. And I'm not using in a live situation. I think if you're recording at home, writing at home, or just jamming at home, getting tones at home, this is a brilliant, brilliant tool. It's really satisfying sounds out of it. I just wish I could recall 6 MIDI presets on it and know what preset I was on without having external devices to add to it. That's kind of disappointing. But in terms of using it at home as a tone shaping device, I think it's fantastic. And I think it's great value for money in that respect. I just think they could have made the MIDI accessible. It would have helped a huge amount. So a brilliant, I'll just stick it in the camera there so you get a good look. Again, an absolutely beautiful piece of design. I really love the design of it. I think it's really beautiful. A really well built pedal with amazing digital processing capabilities, because the sounds are really, really like second to none. And a brilliant tone shaping tool for your home recording, home jamming, or home writing rig. So thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. What's going to be coming up is I'm going to document the recording of that record that I talked about. So next week I'm going to talk about the entire recording rig and how it works and how flexible it is. And that's kind of centered around the 2 Notes Revolt. So it's kind of like 2 Notes' ecosystem and how that allows you to record great guitar tracks at home. So if you're into home recording, check that out. And if you've enjoyed this video, throw any comments or questions you have in the comment section below. And if you have enjoyed it and you've watched this far, thank you very much. And I'll ask you to please like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this, because it helps my channel out immensely. And with that, I shall say adieu, and I shall see you in another video again soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.